Brought to you by GTA. We start with you.
Resolution 164-35 comes just days after Governor Lulian Guerrero announced she would ask the military for a partial construction pause in an area where the last Sarianthes Nelsoni tree lives on the proposed firing range construction site. The governor's call for a pause coming after a closed-door meeting with senators on Friday. Some senators telling KUAM News they were surprised the governor made the call for a partial pause when talks in the closed-door meeting centered on a pause for all construction and archaeological activity at the firing range. KUAM News not allowed to attend the meeting, and we asked if the governor was on the same page as senators.
That's what we are hoping. That is the intent, so that we would be all united at all branches.
Resolution 164 calls on the Magahaga to call for a pause to clearing, pre-construction, data recovery, and construction-related activities at the live fire training range. While the governor said the reason she called for a partial pause was because of the critically endangered fire tree, the military has already cordoned off an area around the tree as part of efforts to collect seedlings.
It's not just the tree. There are other areas that are impacted, other species that are being threatened.
The military's process of handling ancestral sites and artifacts, one of the main topics at a press conference for the resolution at the Guam Congress Hall. Senators saying the programmatic agreement has not always been honored and that the way it allows the military to deal with ancient sites and artifacts is problematic.
Clearing the data, clearing the artifacts, clearing the lusong, the lati, that's what happened at Magua. They cleared the area and they did not preserve it in sight. But the intent of the programmatic agreement was that these historic sites would be avoided.
There's a high concentration of our archaeological finds. There's a lot of natural resources that are endemic, that are found nowhere else in the world.
We have to correct it. There are a lot of things in the agreements, the programmatic agreement, the 4 pillars that we're not, steadfast to, what we all agree to.
It destroys a conservation area. That should never be allowed. A conservation area holds something in trust for a community. And that's exactly what they're proposing to bulldoze and clear off the face of the earth.
I think it's becoming more and more obvious, and thanks to good reporting, that really, there's a lot the community does not know that is actually going on. There's actually things that even our government agencies that we are completely relying on to do these things and take care of them for us are unable to stop.
And just how long of a pause are senators asking the governor to ask for?
As long as is needed to make sure that all the research is done and that it satisfies the people of Guam.
2 senators, Republicans Mary Torres and Jim Moylan, have not signed on to support Resolution 164, which is scheduled for a public hearing July 3rd at 5 p.m. Senators spending much of the time before the press conference and caucus, as Nelson had first planned to introduce a resolution calling for an indefinite halt on firing range construction, but she says that plan was scrapped in order to get her colleagues to support 164.
We have a greater impact when we speak with one voice.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Brought to you by GTA. We start with you.